Hi, everybody. My name is Kathy Silberman. I'm with Academic Alliances at Arizona State University. Welcome to College Connections. Today, we are so pleased to welcome the Polytechnic School, which is part of the Ira A. Fulton School of Engineering at ASU. And I see that people are still coming in, so we'll let that number go up before we get started. All right, I think we have most everybody. So again, good morning. I'm really happy to introduce my colleagues, Cindy Boglin and Megan McLaughlin from the Polytechnic School at ASU. And they will talk about all of their programs and everything that they have to offer in the Polytechnic School. And before that, I'm going to go into a little bit of info about My Path to ASU, our wonderful transfer pathway tool. And then I'll just turn it over to them and they'll have the floor for the majority of the time. So if you're not familiar with My Path to ASU, I think this will be really valuable information to you. And if you are familiar with it, thank you for using it with your students and helping them have clear pathways into ASU. So My Path to ASU allows students to save time and money on their college education because they're following a customized course by course and term by term pathway, which has them taking classes that are applicable to hopefully their associate's degree first before they transfer, and then also to their bachelor's degree here at ASU. They can track their progress all along the way using what's called My Transfer Guide. And they also receive personalized communications when they sign up for My Path to ASU. This is a big benefit because then they're connected to ASU early on, and they get a welcome email from the dean of the college that they're going into or the school that they're going into at ASU. They also hear from our transfer student ambassadors, and they hear about important deadlines for admissions, enrollment, financial aid. They also receive invitations to online and in-person events. So it really allows them to get connected early on with the university while they're still working on maximizing their transfer credit by taking classes from you all at the community colleges. They can talk to their ASU pre-enrollment coordinators all along the way when they're still with you. So they can always get that guidance they need on admissions and any kind of ASU related question, they can always connect them to the right people. And then they also get guaranteed admissions into the program of choice when they complete all of their pathway requirements. So not just the coursework is listed on the pathway, but any additional admission requirements are also listed on those My Path to ASU pathways. And so it's a really nice feeling for a student to know that when they complete all of those, that there's a place waiting for them at ASU. We're going to take a quick look at what the tool looks like. And this is how you would use it as an advisor or a counselor, somebody who's supporting transfer students. You don't have to sign up for an account just to be able to access the information. All right, so the URL that you want to remember and bookmark if you haven't already is asu.edu/mypath2asu. There's all different ways to get into the tool, but this is the shortest URL and the easiest way I found. When you go to that URL, you see this page and you see these two buttons, get started with My Path to ASU and search my Path to ASU majors. So that one on the left is where students can actually sign up for the tool for a pathway. And then on the right is what we just looked at, where you can explore pathways, compare requirements, quickly access the requirements. Now, this is used with all of our partners nationwide. If you are part of the Maricopa Community Colleges here locally, there's a special landing page just for Maricopa because we have a different kind of partnership with Maricopa in that the sign up occurs on the Maricopa end, technically. So when students go to sign up and they click on that left button, which here the wording's a little bit different than what we just saw, sign up for My Path to ASU, it takes them right over to Maricopa's student information system, and they have to sign in with their MEID and password. So that's why there's a separate page, and then the steps are all listed for them about how to sign up and refer back to their pathway. All right, well, that's all I have to share about My Path to ASU, and you can always reach out if you have any questions. I'll put my email in the chat, and I'm going to turn it over to Cindy and Megan now.
Awesome. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks so much for inviting us and including us on this. My name is Cindy Boakland, and I'm the Assistant Director in the Polytechnic School and in charge of the Academic Advising Office. Megan, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yes, hello, my name's Megan McLaughlin, and I'm an undergraduate manager here with TPS. I have worked here for about 10 years and advised for primarily the aviation programs, but yeah, we can help you with any of them though.
Awesome. So Megan is going to be helping with the Q&A part of today. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A section on the webinar. She'll either answer them back to you through Q&A, or she'll stop the presentation and answer the question, whatever it is. She is the expert in all things aviation. So if you have questions specifically about aviation, we're really fortunate to have her here today. Shout out to any of my Mesa Community College peeps. My son finally graduated after way too long. So I appreciate you, and some of you kicking his behind. I appreciate that a lot. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Make this bigger. Sorry, it's under my thing. And we're going to talk to you today about the Polytechnic School. So the Polytechnic School was formerly the College of Technology and Innovation. It's actually had a lot of names. It has been part of the Polytechnic campus since 2004. That is when engineering first came out to the Poly campus. Back then we were the East Campus. I think Megan McLaughlin was also a student at the East Campus, so she's very familiar here. Polytechnic School, however, was renamed, and we became part of the Fulton Schools of Engineering in August of 2014. So we're just about to start our 10th year here as part of the Fulton Schools of Engineering. All right, I'm gonna get out of that. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about Polytechnic School. It is the true definition of what a polytechnic is, but I think if you ask students what a polytechnic is, they would have absolutely zero idea. So the way that we describe a polytechnic school is that we have lots and lots of different majors with one thing in common, and that is technology. We all focus on technology in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's front end, maybe it's back end, maybe it's use of, but we all focus on technology within our degrees. These are the seven programs that we have out here. Now, each of these programs you'll see have a number of concentrations under them, or specialties, or areas of focus. And we're going to go through these in more detail just so you can be a little bit more familiar with what we're talking about. Because in my opinion, a lot of these titles are not very explanatory to folks about what's actually going on in the degree. So we're going to start with Aeronautical Management Technology. We call it AMT. This is all things aviation. This is where Megan lives. Really, the focus is really on preparing the academic side of it and pairing it with real world experience. You're going to see that be very consistent in all of our programs. So we do have 4 concentrations within Aeronautical Management Technology. We have Air Traffic Management, Air Transportation Management, Professional Flight, and Unmanned Aerial Systems. The one most students hear about the most is Professional Flight. We do train students beginning in PPL, so their professional private license, through commercial multi-engine. When students leave our program, as long as they've passed all of their certifications, they are able to go into, and their hours, they are able to go into a regional carrier position company and begin earning their flight hours there. Also within professional flight, we have a couple of partnership programs with Delta and also with Southwest, where our students are then kind of fast-tracked into their organizations and into their companies and into their training systems. But ProFlight is not the only degree we have within aviation, and so I want to make sure we point out the rest. Air traffic management prepares students to become air traffic controllers. There is another step to become an air traffic controller, but it puts students in a position where they are ready to go into the academy, which is basically a program in Oklahoma City, where students get their final leg of training and certifications to become air traffic controllers. You can see in the picture on the right here, this is just one of the awesome labs that we have. These people are in a tower, basically in a simulated tower, learning hands-on how to use things like TRACON or EnRoute or any of our tracking systems that the FAA uses. We also have unmanned aerial systems, which I know Chandler Gilbert has a UAS program as well. Unmanned aerial systems works on all sizes of drones, everything from the teeny tiny little micro ones to the really big ones that we don't even think about. They look like full-size airplanes. They help students not only do some management of them, but programming them, understanding laws that go with unmanned aerial systems, understand the ethical side of doing unmanned aerial systems. So there's a lot that goes into that program. We also then have air transportation management, and we often encourage all of our students to double major in air transportation management. I'm not sure if I said air traffic, but I meant air trans. Air transportation management is kind of an umbrella program that allows students to work in the aviation industry. Maybe they're going to be managers within an airport. Maybe they're going to work for Delta or one of the major airlines. There's a lot of different things that that program teaches students, and it gives students a really, really solid foundation to be a successful professional aviation team member. We've got a lot of great resources around us. So our students fly out of Chandler Regional Airport primarily right now. We do have some students left at Mesa Gateway, but primarily our students are flying. Those who are in ProFlight are flying with AeroGuard, which is out of the Chandler Regional Airport. They, however, are in the tower at Mesa Gateway Airport, our air traffic students, and it's just really handy to be right here, right next to a pretty busy airport. We have students in the towers at Phoenix Sky Harbor as well. We've got students kind of all over the place. Our students do learn tower controls, TRACON, EnRoute, but you may not know, we also have several simulators here in the sim building, so aptly named, where students will get a time learning how to fly before they're actually up in a plane behind the controls. So they can practice their jet, they can practice regional jet, they can practice takeoff and approach, they can practice night flights, they can practice all kinds of things very safely within a simulator. Our students work everywhere, really, anywhere that people fly, both domestically and internationally. We've had folks go to NASA and the Department of Defense. We are an FAA accredited program and an ABI accredited program. And so our students are well equipped to go be successful in the air industry. And if you have any questions, I can't see the chat, Megan. I can't see the Q&A. Okay, so I'm going to keep going.
You're good.
The second program that we're going to talk about is engineering. And engineering is a general umbrella program. Students can major in engineering, just engineering without a focus area for the first 2 years. What you'll see is that we have 4 different concentrations right now. We are hoping to launch a 5th very soon. Our students within engineering, the first 2 years of their curriculum is exactly the same. So students don't have to choose a concentration until really the end of their 2nd year. We have automotive systems, electrical systems, mechanical systems, robotics, and then hopefully clean energy. What they do then is work on project courses. This is what makes this program really unique, is we have what's called a project spine. And so every single semester, students are in a hands-on project class. Those projects stay the same for their first 2 years, but they do then become concentration specific in their 3rd year. Now, I will say this is also the cause of some of the problems with students transferring from community college. And so We are aware that there is an issue. The 8-semester projects bind, 7 of those do currently have to be done at ASU. Basically, it's hard to transfer in all of those classes. So we are working with our program chairs to hopefully be able to make this a more transfer-friendly degree here in the near future, because we do know that it is difficult for students to transfer into this program and be done in a timely manner. So we're working on that. We have probably some of the most amazing engineering facilities here on this campus that I've ever seen. We have another school, the Manufacturing Systems and Networks, that has a huge robotics lab. They have a big focus on manufacturing. We have all kinds of different labs. We also have what's called the Innovation Hub, which is an area where any student at the Polytechnic campus can go work on 3D printers, can do laser cutters, can do engraving, all kinds of things, and that's free for students to use. They just pay for materials. So that's a great resource. Our students work in a lot of places, lots of automotive engineering, aviation engineering. We've got folks at Medtronic, Intel, NASA again. So our students are doing very, very well, being employed in great positions, probably making more than us academic advisors when they leave school. So this is a really strong program. It is the original engineering program that was here at the Polytechnic campus. And they've really been able to stay true to their core, which is to be hands-on with their students in a very hands-on curriculum. Next, we have environmental resource and management. And ERM, as we call it, is really focused on understanding the science behind how to keep our environment clean, how to stay safe, how to use our natural resources in new and unique ways. So the pictures that you're seeing there are actually of the algae lab, and that's a big program here on our campus. I know they've used algae in a number of ways, both to save water as part of water conservation, but then also in things like algae cookies. I don't know that I'm eating that, but they have been using that lab to do a lot of really unique things. And our students are very involved in the lab work. Our students also through ERM have access to what's called HAZWOPER training, which is basically the OSHA approved training for any person who's going to go do work with maybe cleaning up spills or OSHA work, become OSHA certified. That is typically about a $700 training program for outside. Our students pay $25 to receive that same training. So it's a really good opportunity. And I know a lot of our students take advantage of this. We are also, hopefully by fall 25, launching this program online, which we think will be really great. We know that there are some amazing AS programs out there that this would be a great feeder and a great place to put your students. And so we're happy to be able to launch this online. We've been trying for 2 years and hopefully we'll be able to get it done by fall 25. We have a very, very strong connection with both SRP. I did put SRP, I thought I put that backwards. SRP and APS. A lot of our students intern there if they don't already have full-time jobs, but a lot of our students will intern there or at Arizona Fish and Game. We have one of our faculty members, his name is Olcay. He is actually, he was the Secretary of the UN for Water Conservation. So the folks that are running this program are just awesome, and we're very fortunate to have them here within the Polytechnic School. Next, we're going to talk about graphic information technology. What's really interesting about graphic information technology is it's really where creativity and technology meet. And so they also focus on real world projects. You'll see there at the bottom, that was a final project done by a student in a class. They focus on, they have 2 different concentrations. They do full stack web development, which kind of focuses on the front end of developing web. And they also have user experience. And if you haven't heard user experience yet, that's a very hot topic in engineering fields, really talking about how users interact with technology and how we make those things easy and ethical and all of the pieces that go into user experience. But they also have several focus areas outside of those concentrations. So graphic design itself, they have a lot of focus in print technology, cross-media design. We have an amazing commercial photography lab that hopefully if you ever come to something like Open Door or any of the open campus days, the commercial photography lab is really exciting and impressive. We focus in 2D, 3D motion graphics, used to be called animation, and then also videography. A lot of the student work is posted around campus. Here in academic advising, we've got several pictures taken by graphic information technology students. They're just always awesome, unique, and awesome. We have a couple of labs for those students that's really interesting. The DUL lab, the device and usability lab, looks at making this technology accessible for students. And it allows students to, let's say, post something online and see how it works on a Mac, an Apple product versus, I don't use the other product. What's the other product? I just lost it. Not Samsung, but what do y'all use? What do you use, Megan? Not Apple, it's
PC.
Android.
Android, there we go. PC, yeah, all those things. Sorry, my brain just left my body, I think. We have the commercial photo studio, that should say studio. And then we also have the print and imaging lab. And the print and imaging lab is amazing. They do professional work for all of ASU and also areas of the Valley. And our students are able to be part of that. So whether it's making brochures, making pictures, they have some really awesome glass work that they do with putting photography on glass. It's really cool. You'll see a lot of their installations around campus. All of the wall art that is happening around campus is from PIL. And our students are right there working in the lab, learning those professional skills as they go. We have a very strong connection with Adobe. We actually host a couple of Adobe conferences every year. A lot of our students, a number of our students will get employed through Google or GoDaddy. Just some really big names in industry are here looking after our students. We do have a real strong partnership with Scottsdale Community College right now with this program and ensuring that our curriculum meshes well so that students are prepared for the upper level work when they come in, and that's been working very, very well. Any questions yet that anyone has?
None
All
in
right.
the chat.
Awesome. So human systems engineering is exactly where engineering and psychology, along with real world projects, all team up to really look at how we use technology. You saw user experience as a subset of a degree within GIT. This is really that degree. How does psychology impact what we're doing with technology? The top picture is one of my favorite. That's actually the texting and driving sim. I don't think we have that anymore, but I did it and it was a super fun lab to do. You pretended you were driving and then showed different things that a driver might do. Maybe it was they were eating and we looked at reaction time, or they were texting and we looked at reaction time. It was really awesome to do that. Now we have what's called CHART, which is the Center for Human Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Teaming Lab. And I had to even spell that out for myself because it is quite a mouthful. But the chart labs are awesome and give students a real hands-on opportunity to practice these things and look at how decisions they make about technology impact the end user. We have focus areas in healthcare. We have focus areas in aviation. We have a focus area in vision and perceptual motor control, and that's what that bottom picture is of. And then also our HSE faculty look at how we teach technology and how students learn, and specifically focused on diversity within that area. So there's some really, really interesting work being done out of HSE. Human systems engineering has recently moved online as well, and we're watching that population grow. Industry understands human systems engineering, and there is a very strong need for human systems engineers within industry. We've got lots of places where they go. Sometimes it's to industry. This is also a PhD program on our campus, and so we do have students that begin with us as bachelor's degrees and finish with a PhD. It is a very, very strong and robust program here at the Polytechnic campus. The next one that we're going to talk about is information technology, and I think this is one of our more recent additions. I think it launched within the last 10 or 11 years. And information technology really focuses again on academic studies and real world application. It doesn't just teach people how to be IT professionals, though. That's the one thing that I want to make clear. It focuses on the whole aspect of information systems, whether it's management, whether it's security, whether it's databases, whether it's actual networking or desk side service, whatever it might be. Students are exposed to the whole continuum of topics within information technology. It's a very, very strong program. I know many of you have AS degrees that feed directly into this program, and so we're more than happy to talk through maybe how to make some of that a little more seamless for students. But this is a very robust program. There are about 2,200 students in information technology right now at both the undergrad and the graduate level, so it is a very big program for us. They do have amazing lab space that they've been working hard on obtaining over the last few years. They have another virtual lab space, which is the server space, to understand how their decisions as far as managing building database and cybersecurity all interact. They also do hackathons every year where they just work to hack some of the things that they've built and see what their weaknesses are. So that's been really fun to watch. Our students work all over the place. Again, industry is very interested in our students. So whether it's Amazon, who I believe I pretty much support with my own shopping habits, APS again, CrowdStrike, Oracle, PayPal, they're everywhere. Information technology is everywhere, and so are our graduates. The last pure academic program that I want to talk to you about today is Technological Entrepreneurship and Management. We call it TEM, and you can see why. I also can't spell entrepreneurship even after 10 years of being here. This is where really academic studies and entrepreneurial mindset meet, and we really take the information and apply it on real world hands-on projects. I want to kind of, when we jump on this one, look at some of our partnerships. So we have a very, very strong partnership with Intel and Honeywell. We do week-long events for both of those organizations where we match our students with their professionals, and we do some really intensive work on the entrepreneurial mindset and creating new space for new products. The facilities that we have available for this are throughout the ASU campuses. There is an entire new building within at the Tempe campus, SkySong. There's some great facilities at SkySong and also at downtown Phoenix campus, and our students have access to all of those. They also have access to the Chandler Innovation Center, which if you haven't visited there, it has reopened in the last 2 years, I want to say, and is open to the whole community. And TEM students use that a lot to launch their own businesses. Everything from, we've had students working on a brand new desktop interface to creating wallets that are, before RFID was a thing, they were working on that. One of our TEM students, those of you who are parents, launched that little scooper that you scoop up the bath toys with. It was a frog version of it. Our students are out there doing really creative things. We have focus areas in social entrepreneurship. So if you haven't heard of a group called 32 Buckets, that is a social entrepreneurship program that came out of the Polytechnic school, and that is providing clean drinking water to people in Africa. They have technological entrepreneurship, so playing in the fields of Google and GoDaddy. And then we also have operations management, which is managing people who are in the technology field. And so that is another focus area for our students. Our students, again, are working all over the place, Google, GoDaddy, the Cardinals, which was my favorite one. I wish they could hook us up with some free tickets, but haven't done that yet. Boeing, I don't even know what NXP is, but the faculty asked me to include that. So maybe y'all know, or maybe I just need to Google it. But that is TEM in a nutshell. And then, as you know, we also have the Bachelor of Applied Science degrees. So these degrees are for students who have learned in AAS in an affiliated program. And they are allowed to come into our degree, the bachelor's degree programs. They bring in credit hours with them. It's basically a 60 credit hour degree at our level, and it will get them a Bachelor's of Applied Science. Our focus areas are aviation, graphic information technology, internet and web development, and operations management technology. So the top one lives with aviation. They take students right along with all of the aviation students. The second two live in graphic information technology, and they focus with all the other options within graphic information technology. And OMT lives within technological entrepreneurship and management. We've been very successful with the BAS program. We're happy to have the BAS program here. I know some programs are getting rid of their BAS options. We're interested in expanding ours, not getting rid of it. And our students are working all over the board again in technology, in industry. So whether that's Boeing or Amazon or Adobe, they're working in industry very successfully. So we are happy that we have been able to build out the AAS degrees and are always open to more conversations about that. And these are just some awesome pictures of the Polytechnic campus. I'm assuming a lot of you have been here, but if you haven't, come by, take a campus tour. There's a lot of great things happening on our campus. What you'll notice is as we walked through those slides, it was academics combined with hands-on real-world experience. That's who the Poly School is. We're not just learning about learning, we're doing as we're learning, and we're learning about how to be successful within industry from the moment we graduate and hit the ground running. So now I'm going to open it to any questions you might have.
I can go ahead and enable everybody to talk too, if it's easier than typing.
That would be great.
Oh, it looks like you might have the power, Cindy, because I'm not able to click on participants. Maybe because I don't know.
Oh, I can do this. Hold, please. Okay, I'm allowing all of you to talk here, but that means you have to.
I have a question in the meantime while you're unmuting everybody. Megan and Cindy, with the BAS, can students get up to the 75 credit transfer? Or with these majors, with your BAS majors, is it only, are they only able to get up to the 60 credit and have 60 to complete with you?
Megan?
Oh, you're muted, Megan.
Okay, now I can talk here. So yes, if they're from an Arizona community college, they can transfer up to the 75. So we would just need to work with articulation on that. There is one kind of caveat to watch with that, as a lot of our BAS students are very high achieving and have the GPA of, you know, summa cum laude and getting the honors designations. And so if they transfer over 75 credits, they don't meet the 56 credit automatically that you'd get for I think it's a residency credit. And so they would have to take just a couple extra classes. And we do explain that to them before and get their confirmation that they do want to do it beforehand. But that's just one caveat to it. Obviously, transferring over 75 credit is an awesome opportunity. So I don't think we've ever had someone say, no, I don't want to do that, but they maybe take like one extra class. But yes, and they have to be from, again, an Arizona. So if they're coming from a Washington school, that's 60 credits.
Thank you.
Mhm. I'll add you can, if any of your students maybe aren't admitted yet, but they have questions about the programs, we always take prospective student appointments. They can call in to our front desk and schedule an appointment, and we are more than happy to answer their questions if they're still deciding on what college they should attend, or if they're specifically their AAS fits with our BAS. So don't hesitate to send them to make an appointment, even if they're not ASU students yet.
How about tours? I know there's tours of the whole Polytechnic campus. Are there specific tours for the Polytechnic school?
Yeah, so I believe it's Mondays and Fridays. Our campus does tours, and then for aviation, they can let them know they're an aviation student, and they'll give them an extra tour, a sim. I think all the other labs are already incorporated in the tour anyway. It's just the sim the aviation sims aren't really included. So they do not include our flight school though. So they are just touring Polytechnic campus and our resources here.
Thanks.
Polytechnic School is the largest school on the Polytechnic campus. And so a lot of our facilities there's too many hours in ours, are the facilities that are shown within any campus tour. And MSN has some awesome labs as well. I'm going to go ahead and put my contact information in the chat. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. And I'm going to put Megan's in there as well, so that if you have questions specifically about aviation, she would be a great person to contact. Make sure I spelled it right as I was talking. Yep. And so feel free to email us. I don't want to keep you here. If you have I'm sure we all have other things to do today. Actually, lunch, that's what I have to do next. But I just appreciate you taking your time to learn more about the programs here in the Polytechnic School at the Polytechnic campus. And Kathy, Megan and I both really appreciate the invitation to talk with the group.
Well, thank you for being here. And we will post the slides for this presentation as well as the recording on the Academic Alliance's website, which I don't have handy, but I'll post it while you guys are hopefully copy and pasting our contact information in case you need to reach out.
Could I ask quickly, excuse me, as we're wrapping up here, thinking about that very hands-on nature of some of the programs in those first 2 years, of course, we have our students who are actively, they're 2-year students seeking associate degrees, but we also have our early college students who are still in high school. For those students who are kind of looking at ASU and wondering if they can make it work to be at ASU all 4 years, particularly in light of the engineering programs having that really hands-on thing, is there any funding that they need to know about trying to pursue that's sort of specific to this?
So I think a couple things to answer your question there. One, if they are thinking about coming here directly from high school, obviously we encourage that. They would apply as traditional first-time full-time freshmen, and they would be eligible for all of the funding that's available to any of our students. But that raises a really good question in that we do not have secondary admissions requirements. So for any and all of our programs, if a student is eligible to be admitted to ASU, they are eligible for any of our programs. The only program that does have kind of a secondary admissions requirement is professional flight. And that is because they need to meet the health requirements of the FAA in order to fly. And so we have an extra step for our pro flight students. But everyone else, if they're admissible to ASU, they're admissible to our programs and are automatically considered for all of the funding that's available to any student.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, well, you have our contact information. We appreciate everybody being here, and we'll let you get back to your day. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.